Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
And I'm Carl.
Carl, how's it going?
Medium.
Medium.
That's what someone at the market always says every week.
Oh,
When people ask him, how's it going? He always says medium. So I'm going to steal his tagline.
Medium.
Yeah. And you?
Rare. Raw. I don't know. Whatever.
Raw.
I don't know. Not bad. Like, it depends. It depends. There's a lot of different plays. Everything's going good. I don't know. My mind is kind of like, I don't want to say given up, because it definitely isn't given up. It's just not there. It just seems like with regarding to eBay, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like the international shipping sure sounds good, but I had a situation. The guy was from Germany. Okay. And he bought 6 items. And he didn't want to pay basically $300 for shipping.
Yep, don't blame him.
Well, 6 times 15 doesn't come to 300, so I ignored it, and he didn't pay. And I ignored it. He didn't pay. He wanted an invoice. I can't give him an invoice. So Sunday night, I'm like, okay, I'll give this guy a little bit of a message back. So I'm like, here's the situation with eBay on international shipping. Because you took these 6 items from an offer, I cannot give you an invoice. You have to pay for it first, and then I can reimburse you. But that's the only way it can happen. I think I talked about this on previous shows. And I said it's kind of frustrating on my end because I'm dealing with international shipments, which means there could be a language barrier, because he's in Germany. I don't know how good English he speaks. He seemed to type it okay, but he could have been putting it in German and then through ChatGPT putting it in English. I don't know. So I'm like, plus there's a currency exchange thing. So I don't know what, I don't want to misrepresent a price based on currency. And I said, here's eBay's policy. And I copied and pasted on international shipping regarding this. I says, if you wish to cancel the order, let me know. So anyways, he replied, well, here's how we'll do it. You cancel the orders, and then put them all into one listing, and I'll buy them that way.
Okay.
So I blocked them.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not going to take pictures of 6 items, put them up there, and because you want to do it your way and not be reimbursed 75 Canadian dollars, which still doesn't get anywhere near the 290 something he was talking about. I'm not going to take them down, take photos of 6 different items, put them all in one listing, and then send it back out there. So it's not going to change your shipping price. You know what I mean? And then what? You're still not going to get them. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to cancel the orders and I'm just going to block you because I'm not going to deal with that crap.
Oh, yeah.
What would you do, Carl?
How much was the total value of the items he was buying?
I don't know.
Approximately, just guess. Like, are we talking
like 300 to 400? Like, so there were 6 items. Let's say average $50 a piece.
I probably would have done it because it would be worth the time in terms of profit.
Yeah, but where does it end? Like, when do I stop doing that? You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not in the mood. I don't want to deal with you.
Oh, that's fine too.
Right?
That's fine too. Like, I'm just saying, you asked, what would I have done? And I think I would have just done it.
I already told eBay about the issue, and like it's a dumb thing.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't make sense. I don't know why it's there. But if I can't combine shipping because I gave them a discount, that's ridiculous.
That is strange.
It's the strangest thing in the world. But it's right there in their policy. It says it right in there. I can even read what it says.
Well, I believe. But the issue, I guess, is like he didn't want to be compensated after, right?
No. He wanted to do it his way. Oh,
But you made a decision that it wasn't worth your time. You didn't want to deal with BS. So, like
yeah.
both answers are perfectly fine.
Well, it's beyond perfect. Yeah, I could. It says combined shipping. If a buyer purchases multiple items from you, the order will automatically be combined if it's eligible for combined shipping. There are several reasons why shipping can't be combined when sending items through eBay International Shipping. For example, combined shipping won't be applied if the order costs more than 1,200 Canadian, the listing is in auction style format, the item is purchased through best offer or an offer sent by the seller.
Yeah, I wonder why that last one.
Well, there's still one more. The item exceeds the program's package limits.
Right.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I haven't had the pleasure of having an eBay international shipping yet.
Like,
So
if I give them a discount and they accept it, that should be the price. No different as if that was the price that I initially gave them. Like, they're buying it at the price that I'm allowing it to be sold for.
yeah.
It's not like there's anything tariff related. There's nothing. They just, here's $10. Well, you know what? I'll give it to you for $5. And then they buy it for $5 as if it was listed for $5. So I don't know. And it just got like, where's it end, dude? Like, it just keeps getting more and more. I don't mind the little things, especially when things are moving and things are normal. But when there's everything is back and forth and back and forth and you know, Canada Post still hasn't even technically gone back to work. Like, I mean, there's just never, like, there's always something looming and hanging over top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you know what, bud? Like, it's no different. Just pay for the items. Like, it's no more work for him, but it's going to create a ton of work for me,
Yeah.
right? And it's not like those toy soldiers I'm stuck with. I mean, they're selling. Like, I'm going to sell a bunch today as soon as we're done here.
Yeah.
The guy's giving me a list that he wants me to put back up there, and they're going to go to Alberta. But it's just like, I just don't want to sit here and play games. And then as soon as I sell that to him, well, now he's got 30 days to make a comment, or so he's got maybe even longer. So he's going to kind of hold me ransom, and then he's going to want, oh, well, here's 6 more, and then I got to go do the same thing. You know what?
You're not in the right frame to deal with this extra BS right now, right?
Oh, I'm in the perfect frame.
It's like you've been concussed, and the last thing you want to do is go back in and bang your head again against something, right?
Yeah, I just don't want. So I just don't want. Okay, listen. This is it. This is rant 101.
The worst thing is I have one as well. So
Well, the way I look at it is, I don't even know. I don't even know what I was going to say. As soon as I said rant 101, I'm like, it's gone. I can't even remember what I was going to say. But it's just, you got to work harder for more sales, which you don't even know if the stuff is going to sell because of all the problems. But let's just say, okay, eventually things will sell. You know, you don't have the same kind of buyers now, but international shipping opens it up, and it'll get you maybe 50% back to where you were.
oh, if you're
But
lucky, yeah,
but if you list more items, you know, I totally admit I got less than 300 here, so you know I can't be expecting a ton of sales. I don't. That's not really where I'm going with it. It's, if I got to list 3,000 items or 2,000 items just to get the sales levels back up there, that to me is more work for lesser
return,
outcome.
yeah,
And now if I have to even put more work into it, it's not the word work, it's the word payback. You know what I mean? Is
Yeah.
it worth my time to constantly be fiddling with this kind of stuff? Because if I'm working relisting stuff just to appease someone to, so, because of their, like, I do all this work, Carl, and he sees that the shipping order, because maybe he doesn't understand what I'm saying, the shipping order is basically the same. Like, he still has that cost because that 290 or 200 and something dollars, maybe 100 of that is mine. Like, the other is probably your taxes and whatever eBay is charging you for their putting it together. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
he might not be saving as much as he thinks, but
yeah, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I read it wrong where he got that $300. He did say,
it's hard to tell.
yeah, here it
Like,
is. Hello. Because I didn't answer him, right? So he goes, are there problems just in the shipping costs? I don't want to pay $296 for shipping a package. Best regards. So, yeah, $296.
yeah, I don't blame him for that. That is a lot.
That is a lot. But
Yeah.
what am I going to change it by? $75? So he's still going to be, $200 and almost $30, or $220. But I'm just saying, like, he's still going to have to pay $200 for shipping.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm going to do all that work, and then I know the outcome. He's just going to say, you know what? I don't want to pay $200 for shipping. Well, I already give him 15% off of each item. I'm not going to go lower,
no.
right? Especially if I'm going to put more work into it.
Yeah.
So you know what? Block.
And the list grows longer. Yeah. Sometimes I get those messages too, but like sometimes it's like, for me, it's not combined issues. It's usually like, I want this one thing out of this big lot, and I want you to sell it for $2. And it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, honestly, that part hasn't happened. And I totally agree with him on this. I'm not disputing the price.
No, you're
I'm just
disputing
saying
the
that
return.
price isn't coming from me.
Yeah.
If you add up all those six soldiers, it's coming out to $90. Right?
Oh.
Right? So if you go 6 times the 15, comes out to $90.
So when you say 15, what are you exactly talking about there?
Each soldier that is listed, I have $15 shipping. Because to ship that item anywhere in Canada, it's over the 200 grams, it's going to cost me $12 to $15. If it goes to a crazy place, it could cost me $20. So he bought 6 of them, 6 times the 15.
Yeah, but he's seen the EIS shipping cost.
That's what I'm saying, Carl. That's my point. It ain't, if I give him free shipping on my items, he's still going to be paying $200.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
so
if it's all combined into one package,
yeah,
the EIS shipping cost might be lower, is what I'm trying to say. But I can't tell because I don't know how that works for bigger packages, but it should be that way.
Well, then they need to fix their system.
Well, the problem is you can't combine them, like you said, right?
That
Like
is
if
the
I look
problem.
at one of your toy soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And the cost of Germany is $35.69 per item. So whatever that is times 7, you said?
6.
I think? 6?
6.
So that's about $200 about.
Yeah. So there's a glitch there with eBay.
There's definitely, they need to, I think I've heard the Americans talk about that before. The problem with the combining of different ones, right? Is that eBay International Shipping doesn't have a system to, because remember we talked about this last time, right? Because, I think each sale has its own EIS number.
Well, Here, it's
But I'm
interesting you
guessing.
say that because I've had these sales before. I've combined them, and there's not been an issue with the shipping part. Let me just go back here. We talked about this last week a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Combined shipping. So there's 3, and the guy even gave me a partially refunded. So I partially refunded that. Okay, this guy gave me a positive review, and he bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go in here and look at the view.
8 what?
8 toy soldiers. And
2.
what's that?
Where did it go?
I am going to, okay. United States.
I want USA.
And I charged him $20.
And it combined in that case?
Yep.
Interesting. So it can combine to United States, but not combine to Europe?
That's sort of how it appears.
Huh. Okay.
And when I pull the guy from, when I pull it up from Germany, I can only pull up one at a time. When I pull this guy's up, they're all right here, right in the same order. So eBay even give it to me in the order. That's interesting that you said that, Carl, because it kind of sprung something in my, maybe it's different North America or US compared to Europe.
Okay, so I did come across one of your listings last week
Yeah.
that would not ship to the United States. It was just one of them, and I thought, well, that's weird. So I checked your other ones, and they all could. The other ones all could.
What
So I'm
one could
wondering,
not?
one could not.
Which one?
It was a toy soldier. I can't remember which one, to be honest.
Oh, that's weird because they're all listed the same way.
Yeah, I know. That's what I remember thinking. Oh, that's weird. But it was only the one that was abnormal like that.
But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, I'm just like, I just don't want to be learning new stuff every 12 months or dealing with a different animal. And like I've said before, like eBay can just shut your account down, let alone pull you out of international shipping or, penalize you with, like, just out of nowhere. And I don't disagree with it. Like, I'm sure they have reasons for it, but a lot of these guys I know are like, that's had that happen to them are seasoned eBayers. They're not shysters. They're actually need their business. Like, their business is important to them. So I'm sure they're not, but my point is they didn't even get a warning. They didn't get, hey, like, this needs to be fixed. It's just say, wake up in the morning, it's done.
Okay, so you're talking about people getting banned now, right? So you've
So
switched what you're
no, no,
talking
no,
about?
no.
Okay.
I never switched. I encompassed this at the beginning.
Okay.
I narrowed it down to the shipping thing, but I'm still encompassing where all this is leading to within my mind. So we can be dealing with Canada Post, which I had mentioned, international shipping because of the tariffs and the de minimis thing. Canada Post again, and still going. There's all sorts of things that can happen, and then you figure these all out, and you fight with them every couple of months or whenever they spring up, and then all of a sudden, you're fighting with this, you're struggling, you're just trying to get everything and learning everything new and how different things are happening, and all of a sudden they could just shut you down someday. So it's all a mess. You know what I mean? My point is, there's always something in the future, and I'm kind of just tired of it. That's all. Right?
Oh, you have a right to be tired of it. It's annoying.
It's annoying, but it's everything. It's everything all the time,
All at once.
all at once. When I put it in the booth, I forget about it. And dude, the booth was fantastic. This was one of my best weekends ever. And it wasn't even Pumpkin Fest. Pumpkin Fest was a week earlier. But I sold some really big items this week.
Well, I saw the furniture. That's pretty good.
Well, the crawfish, the
Oh yeah,
Mexican folk art, $350. The furniture was $500. I had $550 on it. They got 10% off. Um, there was some other stuff too, like $100. I sold some of those swords for $100. I bought 2 sets of swords and I got 2 long swords. I paid $20 at a yard sale for all 4 pieces.
holy crap!
Yeah, and one just sold. One of the pieces just sold for $100. So there's a lot of stuff, dude. I could sit here. It would take me the whole podcast show to go through every item
Well, I'm
last week.
glad the booth is making up a bit for all the other BS. A little bit.
No, I mean, it's surpassing what it has been this year. Like last year was still a better year. Pumpkin Fest was a better year for me. Although this year, Pumpkin Fest weekend, the store did a record number. But for me, it was good. It was a good weekend. It just wasn't all my sales. Maybe this weekend that just passed
Mm-hmm.
outperformed this same weekend last year. But last year was better. This year is good. But last year was probably the best year I had. Anyway, kind of rambling on, but yeah, so that's working out good for sure, right? So
Oh, good. I'm glad there's that.
yeah, so I'm not
Yeah,
going to give that up, that's for
yeah.
sure. But it just seems like there's one thing after another. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like whatever. You know what I mean? I the big hit would have been losing 80% of your buyers. Like that's a big hit. And then all these little things on top of that and these it's frustrating, Carl.
Yeah, I get it.
You know,
I'm in
I
the
just
boat
want to
next to you,
throw my
rowing on the
stuff.
other side. You know,
What's that?
I said I'm rowing on the other side. We're in the same boat, just trying to get ahead, and we're turning around in circles now. Yeah, it is frustrating.
It's a little frustrating. Um, only because of the uncertainty that's always lingering behind, like always looking over your shoulder. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating, right? I could easily, well, I guess that still wouldn't work. I was going to say I could just take 5 soldiers and combine them, and every listing has 5 soldiers in it. But then if they didn't want one of them, then they're going to ask me to take one out. Could I get a discount because one's out of that group now? So I can't even go that route. But um,
You know, this is why businesses always said they want consistency. They don't
well,
like change because they every time you change, you have to change all your processes, right? Which is
well,
not
yeah,
easier said than done.
yeah. And
So,
I don't mind change once in a while, but like it just seems we're bombarded with changes all every time we turn around. I mean, this year was a little bit more frustrating because we had the move. I screwed up with the because of the deciding to move later, but I screwed up with the building that I was going to go with because as soon as I moved into it, then it's like, well, let's move because of this, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I understand the move for sure, but it was still frustrating. And then the whole summer was moving.
yeah.
My whole summer was completely gone. And and the only reason is because I had all this stuff. If I was working at Toyota, the move would have been a weekend. It's done. It's over. But I had all this stuff, so I'm traveling back and forth. You know the drill. I complain
Yeah.
about it every day, every episode. But it was it was a necessary evil because it's the way I wanted it done was to do it myself because I want to know where everything is and I wanted it brought back into the house properly instead of like it was in the previous place. But where was I going with this, Carl?
I don't know. I'm just letting it run, baby.
I've never had to go to a therapist or psychologist, but I feel like I'm at one right now, Carl.
You just use Chat GPT.
I'm just
Tell
going to
all
lay
your
on the
secrets.
couch here and keep going. Okay, I'll put the microphone. But no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like,
It's
okay,
not like you're making this stuff up. This is all legitimate stuff, right?
dude, I wished
And
I was fucking making this up. Like, seriously, I wish I was making this up. No, but
and I'm
what I'm
sure,
saying is,
a lot of
like,
people listening can also relate too, right? Because a lot of our listeners are Canadian, and trying to keep on top of this stuff isn't easy, right?
well,
You're not complaining just for the sake of complaining. You're not a negative person, right? That's the difference, right?
yeah, but it's not just one thing. It's a multiple of things. That's the problem. Every time you turn around, it's something different. It's
Yep.
something pretty much uncontrollable. I mean, there's a
Yes.
few things that I just listed that are controllable, but they're still not they're still not like it makes sense to make the move. That made sense. But it's so is it still controllable? Sure. But it's not really controllable because you got to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Um
we don't want to come on here and be negative, but at the same time, when you lose 80% of your market, it's hard to be positive when you get 10% back, right?
right, but if that was the only thing, like okay, let's put it this way. How much money did I lose by doing that move? Okay, a, a good chunk, but it also cost me time and effort, and I'm working. So I'm putting all this time and effort and work into something that not only didn't pay off, it was a loss. And then what was happened before that? The mail strike through Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was a pain in the ass because that went through fourth quarter. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So not only did I lose sales, the sales that I was making cost me more money I lost more money on them because I had to go through UPS.
Yep.
So I did more work for less money and I still didn't get the benefit from a normal Q4.
Nope.
And then what happens? They go on strike again,
Yep.
right? Okay, so now they're back, and you could say, "Oh, Scott, they'll iron this out." But what's around the corner? That's my point. Like something else will come up. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it can't get worse than this. That's why I say every episode, and then something horrible happens in the next week. So we'll see what it
Well,
is this time.
Carl, like, but okay. I was gonna say something to segue into your rant, but before I do that, I just want to say there are other avenues, there are other ways to selling. Definitely the booth is not going away until the sales drop there, which could happen. I mean, hey, if we're headed to a major recession, like some people predict, that could drastically affect my sales at the booth, right? It could. Um, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that could be something looming around the corner that I don't know. But as of right now, as it stands, I'm gonna say I'm not giving up the booth. The booth is good and it's doing well, and I like it and it's doing well. So I'll stay there. But there's other ways to sell. You could sell to pickers. I've met a lot of pickers here. I know a lot from an hour away where I came from, and I could just pick for the pickers.
Yeah, it's funny.
Do
This
that
week
kind of
I
thing.
used ChatGPT to make a sign for the booth saying that do you like to pick but don't like to sell? Then let's make a deal just to try something different. But
Or do you like to, you know, are you a seller? I'm a picker. Like you want your sign that you just said in your booth, but I'm talking about the reverse after the
yes,
yard sale
yeah,
that I had here. I'm like, these guys don't really have too much of a problem with the money, and I know what the item's worth and where it has to be for them to make sense.
yeah,
As long as I'm okay with that, maybe I open up the garage and I just say, "Hey, pick what you want." You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I set it up for the pickers to come and pick
yeah. There's guys at the market who do that, flea market, who do that. That's what they do.
because the thing is, you're not you're not getting stuck with all that inventory either. Like I talked to
Yeah,
one of the picker guys that came here. He called me up and he had the comics and the spinning thing for the comic rack. And he says, like he gave me a great deal on it. I couldn't say no to the deal. It was amazing. I was very thankful for the deal. But he said everything that he bought from me on the yard sale, which was quite a bit, he came twice. He said it's pretty much all sold already.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And I'm thinking, mother, you know, that, like, I didn't want to swear there, but I had that sitting in my garage probably for 2 years.
And he
You know
got
what I
rid of
mean?
it. Well, he has the contacts, obviously, right?
Well, I guess we all kind of have the contacts. Like, I could have put it in the booth and sold it, but I had so much other stuff. My point is, I have no problem sourcing stuff. I have no
Yeah.
problem getting the stuff.
Hey, I would love to have someone like that around here.
But that's what I'm saying. So a quick nickel compared to a slow dime. So if I buy it for 5 and sell it for 20, but it might be worth 100. I mean, how long do I have to sit on gold for that to happen? At least a month.
If you're
I'm
selling,
being sarcastic, but
yeah,
I'm just saying, if you're just turning that, if you just look at it as return on investment and not like maximizing profit, but you're just turning it quickly. There's something to be said about that too, right? That
oh yeah,
if you can grab that inventory for cheap, it's all about your ability to source. You know what
my
I mean?
friend John's exactly like that. He gets it cheap, he puts a cheap price on it, and he gets it out and done, and on to the next thing. Right?
Yeah.
He's definitely he's not giving stuff away,
And then the
but
few things I could still put on eBay. Some of the things I could still keep for the booth, right? Maybe that, wow, geez, I was wrong there. The pickers really don't want that. Maybe it's something booth worthy. Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking
yeah,
outside the box, but nothing in particular.
yeah,
Um, I mean, there's different avenues. I'm not saying I'm going that route. I'm not saying I'm going to quit. All I'm saying is that these things play on your mind very, very heavily. And I got the book done, dude.
yay!
It's done its first draft. Like, it's completely done. It just needs I'm getting a couple of people to read it over and then tweak it. And I'm around 56,000 words, so probably I have to bring that between 50,000 and 55,000. So maybe like just kind of tighten it up, and then that'll be good.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's done. I'm actually I actually
congratulations.
like it. I
Well, that's
just
good.
don't know if it reads like a grade 5 level or if it reads like an adult level. I'm not sure where people are going to put it. I think it reads fine, but
You need to find someone who's going to give you an honest review without being nice to you.
so exactly. So whoever I give it to, my whole spiel is, first of all, you can't show anybody until I say
Well, you have to, and someone you trust. Yes.
trust. But second of all is, I don't want to hear one good comment. I just want to hear all negative. Because if I open that door to positive, that's what they're going to give me. I want criticism. If you're not into giving criticism, and I call it constructive criticism, but if you're not into criticizing and picking out the problems, you're not the person I want to read this right now.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it. And I'll never talk to you again if you criticize it.
I know, right?
No, seriously though, I want it. It doesn't mean I have to change it, but what it would mean is, okay, something didn't sit well with the reader, so therefore maybe it needs to be tweaked in that way. I did get put in a couple of spots where I've got a bit of a, I don't want to say it repeats, but it kind of gets a little bit explanatory. Like I probably
Mhm.
try to explain it too much to the point where maybe it could be condensed down. So maybe if you got 2 paragraphs here and there, like it's not often, but I kind of get into a little bit too much explaining. Maybe it can be condensed down to one.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it's a first draft, is because that's your next step. So anyway, there it is.
Well,
So
that's awesome.
just so people didn't think I was just like talking and not doing. It's done. So,
The author over here.
well, we'll see. We'll
Well,
see.
let's look at your resume here so far.
Okay,
You're a television star,
dude, isn't that a thing? Eh?
and you're
Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch? Because I was season 7, but they got up to season 5.
okay. Explain what we're talking about because I kind of vague posted that a bit. You were on the Canadian show.
Yeah, so there was a Canadian show, and it's called The Past and the Curious. It's
There
a
you go.
East Coast show,
Yeah.
or I should say East Coast production company, and their primary their primary uh I don't want to say sponsor, but I guess their primary customer with this show would have been Eastlink on the East Coast. However, when doing this, there was the rumor that it was filmed in such a way that they could tweak it or re-edit it to fit other platforms like Netflix, Prime. But anyways, long story short, I think what was the other one? Tubi. That was one they mentioned. But anyways, it's on Prime now, but it's seasons 1 to 5 because 7 is basically their new show, and maybe they have a contract with Eastlink. But anyways, season 6 and season 7 aren't on Prime right now. So unfortunately, I'm not there. But anyway,
What season are you in?
7.
Okay.
Anybody on the East Coast, like Randy or whatever, could watch it. It would be on there.
Okay, because I have looked for it and I wasn't able to get.
You can't find it
Can't
anywhere,
find
dude.
it. Yeah.
There is an advertisement. If you look on YouTube and you'll put in Past and Curious season 7, you'll be able to see there's a taxidermy squirrel and they're boxing each other.
Mm.
So that I think that might be in the thumbnail. However, it's just an advertisement for season 7. It's not. So you see a couple of the characters. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but you do see my Heathkit robot because it was in there. And there was a couple items in there where I was the commentator to the presenter of that item. Does that
Yep.
make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So definitely season 7. But the show's on Prime. It's a very Canadian, very kind of like Sunday afternoon type half an hour show or hour. I guess maybe it's an hour show, 3 items. But I think if you look at the first couple seasons, they're a little bit slower and boring. I think they picked it up a little bit, but definitely season 5, they were here with with a couple of guys that I know, and they were in there presenting. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So that was cool. But anyway,
So TV presenter, soon to be published author, YouTube celebrity,
YouTube
podcast
celebrity. Ooh.
extraordinaire.
But it's not even. Dude, listen.
You're enjoying the journey. What can I say?
The journey. I was just gonna say the journey's fine, but it's like there's no $1 million paycheck by any means. There's no. Well, there was payment on the show, but it wasn't anything super significant. That's for sure. So, anyways, then they did a dog thing, but a couple of us that were here, they liked our work ethic so much they asked us to come and help behind the scenes on the other one. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we did. They came here to shoot another show based on it was a dog thing. It was an animal like people and their pets type show. But anyway, so we helped behind the scenes prep it up and that kind of stuff. So that was fun. Anyway, did you ever watch that, Carl? Did you ever go and watch it?
I tried to watch it. I couldn't find any episodes. So
On Prime?
I don't have Prime.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but on YouTube, it's not there.
No,
But you
I'm
did try.
on. I sub to Eastlink though, so if it ever comes up, I'll see it.
Mm, it's definitely on Eastlink. It was Eastlink
Well,
Studio that we worked at because they were the prime people of this show that would air this show,
yeah,
and
I
it
meant
was
the YouTube
Eastlink.
channel, Eastlink. Yeah,
But it
I
might
did
just
look,
be,
but
yeah. Um, but I got video. I got behind the scenes. I can send you some pictures and video on my phone.
there you go.
It's the guy. It's the people doing their setup and stuff. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just rambling on here. But it was a good journey. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. Where was I going with this?
I
It's
don't
you.
know. I was just saying that you were on this presenter, and then
Yeah,
you went with it.
yeah, and it was fun. I just wanted. Well, you told me to explain it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I did. There you
You
go.
did.
Yeah.
Good. Yep.
So there it is, man. There it is. I don't know what else to say.
Well, uh, congrats on the book, I guess, and good luck finding the right people to read it.
Well, dude, it's going to be a grind if it ever happens. But the main reason to write the book is I don't even I don't even know if I should say it right now because I don't want to jinx things. But so when my son was into film back when he was 13, I gave him a camera when he was 9, and he was into like theater and all this kind of stuff, right? So he got his friends from theater to act, and he was filming them. Sorry, I kind of digressed. He got his friends and they were acting and they were doing these horror little, just imitating like Goosebumps and horror Goonies and different horror scenes. And I thought it was pretty decent. So we decided to put a script together and make a film. I think it was 20 minutes and it was a horror thing. And so we entered it into the Erie Horror Film Festival in Erie, Pennsylvania. And it got nominated and it was kind of
Yay.
exciting. And he met Norman Reedus was there and the Boondock Saints, I guess is the movie, but the whole cast was like there was three main cast members there, including Norman Reedus. But there was some old time horror like movie actors from the 80s and stuff. Anyway, it was a competition. So then it kind of got into our bones, and for the next 5 years we did that until we went to university for filmmaking. But anyway, so we kind of got the itch to write scripts. So this was in the back of my head as a script, and then with ChatGPT, I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I can put it into like a little novel form or something, and it just kind of like expanded from there. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to be this great writer. There's actually history as to why this was there. And it
Mhm.
was going to be an expensive film, but it was something we were planning on doing. Expensive meaning it would probably cost $20,000, $30,000, right? Because there was a lot that had to be done. But anyways, we never got to that point. Um, where was I going with this now? So, but it always was in the back of my head. So I just kind of with ChatGPT thought, well, let's just put it into a quick format. I don't have to waste a lot of time formatting it and all this stuff. Then I thought, well, let's put it into the cinematic novel, and it actually didn't sound too bad. So then I'm like, well, let's let me listen to some YouTubers on traditional bookmaking and like novel format bookmaking, and what do they think? And I know they're self publishing or on a lot of people do it through Amazon. So it just kind of grew out of control. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me seriously write this into a novel, and then I'll have ChatGPT format it for me.
Yeah.
And then, because I'm not a novel writer, I don't know how to write a novel. I know how to tell a story and I could write a script. But then I thought, okay, well, this actually doesn't sound too bad. Let me try to actually work it into a novel, like into something I could do, knowing that ChatGPT can format it properly and make it flow and and not so much flow as in like how the chapter has to be and all that. It's no different than a script. You just have a certain process of the characters and they have to say certain things to tell the audience what's going on and all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. That's not the thing. I just mean like paragraphing and sentencing and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually did, right? Now I'm not saying it's like simple with ChatGPT. If anybody wants to do it, you really have to hone it down and give it specific instructions because it'll go a whole different directions. You know, all of a sudden you're having tea with the queen if you let it go too far. Like,
Yeah.
this is a horror movie in Northern Ontario, Canada. Like, we're not having tea with the queen. But I'm being sarcastic, but you know what I'm saying, Carl.
Yeah. So it's a tool. Like when I was doing my poster this week, I got to do the basic poster, but I learned from previous editing, it's not very good at editing sometimes. So I actually manually did the rest of the editing in Paint because it was faster than trying to get Chat GPT to fix the few things it did. But it was still good at setting up the initial poster. So
Yeah, and there's a couple things too, and this will be a good question to ask you, being your computer background. But there were some writers that were saying they have to ask it for a prompt. Like, give me a prompt for this. And then it will give you a prompt to ask it, and then you tweak it to kind of finalize. I haven't got to that point yet, but they're actually asking ChatGPT to give them like I would say, give me a prompt for this, and then you would tweak it, copy and paste or whatever, and then ask them that question based on the prompt that they told you to ask it.
okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
So, I mean, there's different ways of going around it, but it really is something you can't just. I mean, you could, but it's not going to be anything. But you could say, write me a novel on this subject, and it could do that, but it's not going to be near what you have in mind. Like, it's going to be crazy and probably not make sense. But
Right. Of
you know,
course. Right. Like, how
but
is it supposed to know what you want exactly? Right. You have to build it.
you have to build it. Yes. So people are putting it down because they think, oh, it's going to be the way of the future of writing novels, and it's going to take the humanity out of it. It's not going to. Like,
No.
not the way it sits right now. Like, it can help you maybe bring out information, or it can give you some assistance on uh different ways to build a character or something like that. But to actually come out and give you a vision that you might have, it's going to be way out if you let it.
Yeah.
Does that
Or
make
it's going to be very formulaic. Like, when I produce my sign for my booth there,
Yeah,
I see that style everywhere
right.
where you can tell it's AI because it has a certain look to it, a feeling to it.
Yeah.
So if you're not rewriting your book, it's just going to feel like an AI book, right?
Well, put it this way. I asked it to. I don't want to give the story away. I asked it to give me a cover based on a subject, and one of the subjects is aliens. So it was a certain human fighting an alien, and it gave me an alien that was half that human and half the alien. Like, its arm was part of the human. Like, I'm like, so it just combined both thoughts into one piece,
Yeah, you still have
and
to write.
and that
Yeah.
was an image,
Yeah.
right? Like I said, give me a
Oh,
book cover,
right.
like give me an image. So if it does that with a photo, you can imagine how it does that with text. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It just
Yeah.
combined. It just kind of.
And then the queen
Oh,
popped in and had tea. Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly, right. So it's. I hate the stigma of people like of AI when people don't understand or haven't worked with AI. AI is not writing the book. Not even close.
mhm.
It's assisting. It'll get me in a decent format, but it's assisting in some areas for sure. Especially maybe descriptive. But if you if you let it go too long, it starts to continuously use the same phrase,
Yeah.
right? So you got to edit that. It's actually work on it creates a little bit of extra work too, but it makes it so fast in some areas that it makes up for that. So um like if it finds a phrase that it really likes, it'll be there like every 10 lines. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Does
Yeah.
that make
That's
sense?
how I would write a book. Every
Yeah,
same words
yeah.
over and over
I went
again.
to school. I
Which is
went to
why I don't
school.
write books. I just read them.
Yeah. But anyway, that's about it. That's where I am. How's things going with you, Carl? That was my rant for the day.
Yep.
I feel
Things are
better now.
okay. So there's a couple of things. One of them is, remember last time I talked about a issue with my listings for international shipping in the United States and showing really expensive listings for shipping when you do a search. So I figured out how to fix that. So what I'm talking about is my postcards. So I can ship postcards to the United States for $3, and I don't have to use EIS. But the problem is, if you search for my postcards, it would show the EIS value. But the
Right.
trick I found is, for my postcards, I took out the country of origin on those listings. And when you take out the country of origin, then it can't use EIS. It can only use my very specific US letter post shipping cost. So now when you search for my items and I have a United States shipping option and there's no country of origin, it shows the cheaper shipping costs. So that's a big fix for me. So I'm really happy with that. Do you understand?
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. And I still have on the postcards, it still has EIS for Germany and stuff like that, because the other countries don't need the country of origin for EIS. So if someone wants to pay a lot of money for a postcard from Germany, they can go ahead and do that. So it's kind of a nice fix.
Yeah. Postcard $10, shipping 250.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, I hate to say this, but because we've been complaining about eBay, but eBay service desk is still not good. It goes up and down.
What do you
But,
mean by service desk?
well, when you have to talk to someone on eBay,
Or that's what I thought you meant. Okay. I've not had a problem with that at all.
I find
But,
it's good and bad. It
okay.
really is who you talk to.
Yeah.
So I had an issue where I sold a iPod Nano, and I in Canada. So I was just going to ship it off, and then I noticed the name was Frodo Baggins. So would you have done if you saw that?
Well, so you're saying you screwed up?
No. So I sold the item, right? And I
Yeah.
went to do the shipping label, right?
Okay.
And I saw the name the person was going to was
Oh,
was Frodo Baggins.
I would have just sold it.
You would have just sold it?
Yeah, they're probably just a fan. What did they buy? Probably something
An
like
iPod Nano.
an iPod now.
And
Uh,
they're a new account. I think I had one feedback.
I probably would have sold it.
So I looked it up,
Yeah.
and they say if they use a false name, you're not supposed to ship it, from what I saw. So I thought, well, I'll just call eBay and ask them, because this is
Yeah.
a simple question.
Right.
The other guy at the other end had no clue. It's like, this had never happened before in the history of the world. So
I
he's
think
like, oh, it's a fake name. And you have to be really careful, because then, you know, we could cancel the sale, but then you can get a negative feedback. And I said, well, the reason I'm calling you, eBay, is for you to tell me what to do.
yeah.
And the answer of, like, you might get negative feedback, obviously, on something that's not my fault, is not a correct answer. So it's, oh. And then we talked for a while, and he said, I'll escalate it, right?
Yeah.
And I hung up, and it's like, he didn't bloody escalate it. Because my experience, unfortunately, with the service desk is the agents will lie to you. And I've had this happen 3 or 4 times now. This is probably the 4th time they've had this happen. And I don't call that much. I
Yeah.
might call once every 6 months at
Yeah.
most. But they will lie to you. And I think the reason they're lying to you is because they probably get metrics that if they close the ticket, it's good. And if they don't close the ticket, it's bad. So
Right.
they'll close the ticket even if it's not closed. So I waited a little while, and meanwhile, this guy wanted me to ship this things out quick. He said, well, the service agent said, well, they'll call you in 20 to 48 hours later when I escalate this. And it's like, I was thinking they didn't escalate it. So I looked back onto onto eBay, and it says, oh, this has not been escalated. You had no tickets open. It's like, bloody hell. Like, I don't have a problem with someone not knowing the answer. My problem is wasting my time.
Right.
And that's what gets me really angry, because like this fact that someone used a false name is not an unusual event. That's never occurred. They have a script for that. He had no idea. So I called back and I talked to someone else, and he said, don't worry about it. That's the address. Just ship it.
Yeah.
And he said the other guy didn't escalate anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, he was good, but I have heard from other people that you got to call and call and call and hope you get a good person on the other end.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's still true. So it's very disappointing, because I hate wasted time.
I've only, and I don't even know if the person was done this correctly or not, but I've only ever had one issue where I wasn't happy. Other times I've been okay. I actually, my personal experience, and if they're not escalating but they're telling you they will, then that's wrong. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but my experience is actually they've been pretty decent and willing to help. Like the last time I called was regarding the situation I talked about before, where I couldn't combine shipping. We were probably on the phone for 45 minutes, and he kept coming back on. He goes, sorry about this, but you got to give me a few more minutes because I'm talking to so-and-so and we're trying to figure this out. So we were on there for a long time, a long conversation. I could even look on my phone and go search back to tell you how long we were on the phone, but my guess is about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot of that wasn't even talking to him. He just was trying to figure it out with somebody else. Maybe he was petting his cats and watching the baseball game. I don't know, but because I think they work from home for the most part.
I think so too. Yeah.
Right. I have had it where I've heard people in the background like they were at a party or something. I've had that, but they still answered the questions and did whatever they had to do. So,
yeah. Unfortunately, my experience has been told not to worry about it, and then I had to worry about it.
Well, that's not right. They shouldn't be.
And multiple times, not just once or twice, right?
That's so they also get graded. Like you can. They're going to ask you for feedback. You can put that in there.
I did.
Okay.
I said they were nice because they were nice.
Yeah.
But I said they were not able to help me, and they didn't do what they said they were going to do.
Listen, Carl, murderers can be nice.
Yes, I know, right?
I'm going to be very gentle about this, but I need you to lay down on the floor with your stomach, facing the floor.
Where are you going?
I'm going to murder you.
I signed up for.
I'm murdering you, but I'm going to do it nicely.
Okay.
I did say, please lay down on the floor. Face facing the floor.
It was very annoying. So, but like I said, I've been told not to worry about things in the past.
Yeah.
And it was complete bull crap. Like I got negative feedback, and then they'll say, oh, sorry. That's why I prefer actually, when you can do chat, I prefer they got rid of that on eBay, that you had to talk to someone. And I know why. It's because when you have chat, you have a written down what they actually promised.
I don't know. I didn't like the chat at all.
Oh, I love the chat. I prefer the chat.
That's weird. We are so different.
We are different. I like the chat because I have written down what they promised.
I like to talk to someone. I hate texting. I
love texting.
Oh my God. Steph texts me all the time. And after about 3 texts, I just call her and like, what? What do you want? I don't want to have a conversation. I like texting when it's a quick 1 or 2 response, right? Here's a question, give me a response. Here's a rebuttal. Here's a response. That's it. But if it's going to be
explaining things, yeah. But
what's that?
I don't like. Anyways, yes, and I agree. If it's complicated, then I'll call. But usually, when I'm calling eBay, it's very simple things. Well, in fact, I wouldn't mind if AI did it. If AI their AI was pretty bad though. Actually, the eBay AI.
Yeah.
because I said they gave me a false name, and it gave me back a result that had nothing to do with the false name. It was just the closest thing it had. So
Well, okay. So what are you buying a Nano? What you're selling a Nano iPad or iPod?
iPod, yeah.
So it's probably a young person. And if you ever like when I go back to poker and when I used to play online, everybody kind of had silly names because you didn't know what to do. And sometimes names are like you try to put in your real name and not available. You try to add a one or a two or a couple of zeros, not available, not available. So that person was probably a young person, was into, that
Well,
kind
I
of
had no
stuff.
problem with that.
Just probably put Bilbo Baggins. I don't think they're going to be like I
I
don't know if I would consider that an issue or not. I can understand your point. Don't get me wrong, but
right.
I don't know if that would have been a red flag for me or not.
I just wanted to confirm. That's all I
Yeah,
wanted. A 5-second thing saying, "Don't worry about it, ship it." Right? I just wanted
yeah,
confirmation because I
but
wanted to be covered. Right? Like
yeah, I don't know if eBay can they really do that though?
they can do whatever they want. It's their
Well, they did, and you didn't like it. That's the problem.
well,
But I'm saying,
they didn't. The second person did.
can they really say, yeah, we'll cover you, ship it?
Yeah, it's up to them.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's why I was called. Right? I was pretty sure it would be fine. Right?
yeah,
I just wanted to make sure because it was such an obviously fake name,
yeah.
and I thought naively that this was something that they knew the answer to, and
Well,
they
I
didn't.
had one where it was Carl the Lazy Buyer, and I'm like, what the hell? There's no way. That's a total scammer.
You know, the funny thing is my email's attached to that name somehow, Carl the Lazy
Oh,
Reseller, and now like even friends and family just see that. So I'm like, whatever.
but you're the lazy reseller. This was the lazy buyer, so I'm like, there can't be two Carls out there.
Hey, and it was obviously not a young person because Frodo Baggins, I think, was 90 years old or 110 or something in the game. Show. No, never
Yeah, but that story is classic.
mind.
Like that probably came. Was that in the '60s when that came out, or was it
uh,
earlier? That's interesting. When did The Hobbit come out?
it was probably 60s. But anyways, I don't really want to go down that route. Who cares about
I
Frodo
I
Baggins?
want to know.
Okay, fine. Well, you go down that route, and I'm going to continue on to bitch about the next thing. So there was a change this morning.
Oh,
Um,
1930, dude.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense because it was about World War One, not World War Two.
Oh,
I guess that makes
okay.
sense now I think about it. But anywho, have you ever read Lord of the Rings?
The novel took several years to complete and was published in 1937. The Hobbit was 1930. I read The Hobbit. I read The Hobbit and watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
But watching Lord of the Rings was based on The Hobbit.
I have the extended version. I'm going to watch. I think it's like 9 hours. I'm keeping that one. I got two versions, and I put one in the booth and sold immediately. So, anywho, love that stuff. So, okay, so something else that came out this morning, promotions. Uh, it's causing a lot of buzz around, at least today. Now, I don't use promotions at all because I don't like those kind of pay to win, pay to play kind of systems.
Right.
But I know a lot of people do use promotions. So, uh,
Well, not because they want to.
well, they feel it's going to make a difference, right?
Right.
So the big difference that they did this morning is, and this is taking effect in January, so
Yeah.
there's some time, is that if someone clicks on the way it used to work, if someone comes into your listing versus via promoted link and they bought it, you had to pay the promotion fee, right?
Right.
The new way it works is if someone comes in and looks at your listing from a promoted listing through promoted listing link, right?
Clicks on it.
Clicks on it, and then someone completely different looks goes to the same listing, not through promotion, just through normal search, not through the promoted link, and buys it, you have to pay the promotion fee.
Right.
So people are like, okay, they're not fans, obviously, because that means your expenses go up, and you didn't even benefit from the promotion.
Right. So basically, everything is basically going to have a promoted listings expense tied to it.
If someone went through the promoted link at some point in the last 30 days.
So all these people that are at the call centers, while they're not receiving
Yes.
calls or on calls, are going to sit there and be clicking on these promoted
That's
listings.
the joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just made that up. I didn't hear that joke, but
Oh, yeah. No, I've heard it already this morning.
okay.
Yeah. So I don't use promoted anyway,
It
so it won't
wouldn't
affect
even
me.
take a person. I mean, that's probably something you could get an AI bot to do,
Yep.
right?
And that
If
happens. Yeah.
if it technically had to have that, or they had to have some sort of proof if they were ever audited that that was going on, that these were clicked on before they charged promoted listings, you could easily. So basically, everything's going to be a promoted listed sale.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah.
I don't know like how often that example occurs, but
Well,
there
let me.
are AI bots out there. Like my website, my personal website,
Yeah.
I get hits about 10 or 12 every day. They're almost all from China and Singapore and quite a bit from US. Like people who are obviously did not get my business card or go to my booth, right? They're just bots out there hitting my website. So I assume it might be the same with links, promoted
So
links.
let me just kind of. I'm going to throw in my perspective. It's not really my opinion. It's not something like, obviously you don't like to lose money on for any reason. Okay. And I'm not going to stick up for eBay. I'm not doing it. I'm just putting it in
Yep.
perspective. And so anything that's going to cost you or make you less profit because there's more expense to doing it is sucks, hands down. But, and I'm not saying it's right because everybody's going to jump on me. Scott, blah, 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 eBay makes enough, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with that. But if you were to sell it any other way but through eBay, there's a huge amount of expenses that come with that. I will look just at my store and I have to pay rent pre-sale. Like I have to come up with sales every month just to cover rent
At the booth. Yeah.
at the booth. And then they take a commission, which is equivalent to eBay, which is your 13%, your basic, right? So by the time the sale's done, it's 25. If it's a bad month, it could get 35, but it's probably 25, maybe 30% of your sales go to either rent or commission.
Yep.
So by adding even up to, and I wouldn't go over this, but if you added a 10% for promoted listings, most of mine are 5, but I have most of mine were 5. And some didn't even have any. But since August 29th, I put everything at 10% because I just wanted to have every advantage out there to make a sale. But even at 10%, I'm still paying 23% commission only on the sale. So I have no, other than buying the product, but I have no pre fees. Pre fees, is that even a word? Pre is that's 2 words, but is that, does it sounds very bad, pre fee. But I have no pre fees before the sale. All my fees come out of the sale. Where if you were to do a brick and mortar, you're looking at costs before the sale and costs at the sale.
Yeah. Like your fees at the booth, you're paying for that booth, even if you sell nothing, right?
Yeah.
I guess
So,
technically we do a bit on eBay, but not really.
but
We have store fees, but it's not that
yeah,
much.
but they're so
It's
small.
it is, yeah.
But I guess where I'm going is that it shouldn't be a deal breaker as far as Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not agreeing with it, and I don't want anybody
Sounds
to.
like you're happy. You're not. You're trying to say you're not happy about paying more.
But it should be. It's still manageable. They're still trying to eke out a profit, but at the end of the day, eBay has such a large community. I'm almost surprised that they don't just come out and say, "Hey, we want 20% instead of 13%." That would be much more respectable than trying to nickel and dime some other way. Although the promoted listings things, see how I understood promoted listings, I think I'm wrong on how I initially perceived it, and maybe it's changed. I don't know, but my idea was that it puts it on different platforms like Google searches and different things like that. So you're getting more eyes on it, and for that, I think the promoted listings is fine. If all it's doing is upping your ranking within eBay itself,
That's all it does. Yes.
then I think that, I mean, you're still going to pick and choose what ones you even have promoted listings on, right?
Yeah.
Like if there's no competition,
There's no point.
there's no. Type this in: West Clocks snowflake clock. Type that in, Carl, and tell me how many's available and what the selling price is.
Really?
Yes, and I'm going to show you why, because I'm going to.
So where are you typing this in? This are you typing this in search on eBay?
Yes, on eBay.
Okay, so West Clocks. What again?
West Clocks.
Yeah.
CLOX. West Clocks. It's
Yeah.
all one word.
Yeah.
Snowflake clock. And I'll hold up and show you that I have one. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I have one. It's black with the white.
I see one for sale.
Okay, look at the solds.
Holy crap! They want a lot of money for that.
Yeah. How much?
$400.
No, for the ones that sold. Yeah, that's the red one that they're asking price.
Wow.
How many are available on that clock?
2 solds, 1 available.
There's only 3 in eBay. 2 of them have sold. 1 is available. How much did they sell for?
They have best offer, so I can't tell, but 278 and 251 Canadian is what it shows. So
I'm showing that they sold for that. I don't show that they took a best offer.
well, you can actually, you can check that on Terapeak, if you really care.
Well, for the speed of the show, but my point is, I wouldn't put promoted listings on that item.
No, there's no point.
There's no point, right? Because there's only one available. This works. You know what I mean?
I can actually see the sold prices on Terapeak if people. I'm just saying that for people out there, if you actually care, that you can actually check to see what things sold if you feel like taking the time to do it. Like the one that shows $251 Canadian.
Yeah.
I can see that it actually sold for 180 American.
So how much? Wait,
actually, there's 2 very similar ones, so I'm never quite sure.
Yeah, but 180 American is almost 250 Canadian.
Yeah, that's the same one. So I see they actually got 180 on August 11th.
100. See, but that's misleading. 180 American is 250 Canadian.
Is this yours?
No.
Okay, well maybe they got full price.
It's $250.08 Canadian.
Right. So it shows here 251. The exchange rate could change a little bit. So
yeah, so basically $250.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Canadian dollars.
Yep. So
what it sold for.
So Terapeak.
But my point being, the whole reason for showing you that is I looked this up. I have one.
Yes.
And that is going to be, there's no reason to put promoted listings on that. Now, if that was a search that was to be done in Google, so say your promoted listings pushed it out in Google and other search platforms, then I would say, you know what? Another 5% or something just to get it out there in the beginning might be worth it.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
But if it just pushes it up in the ranking, there's no need to put promoted listings on that.
Yeah, there's 2 types of promoted. The basic one it's just to promote it on eBay.
Right. And what's the other one?
I forget the name because I don't use either. So, but there is a separate one that will do Google as well, but I don't know what it is. So,
Well, all I've ever seen is in the bottom left corner. You just click it yes or no. So that's all I've ever seen. I didn't know there was two types. I thought it was one and it either did both or did one. But my
well,
initial
I
one
could be
was
wrong.
thought, okay, this is competing against Etsy because Etsy everything gets pretty much promoted listing, but everything is if you do a Google search, everything comes up on Etsy. Whatever you search, it's all Etsy, Etsy, Etsy.
Yeah, it
So
not to
I
go
figured
into
it
it.
was a competition for that. But
Yeah,
apparently it's within the ranking.
it's complicated because it still might show up on Google. It's just that it wasn't pushed to Google, so it can be really hard to tell what's going on.
Well, whenever like I find a little bit more now shows up from eBay, but for the most part, Google Images had very little eBay. It was always, and I'm going back maybe a year or so ago, but it maybe even pre promoted listings because promoted listings are relatively new. But it just everything was Etsy, and you hardly, maybe Poshmark or something, but you hardly ever seen eBay. But now I see eBay, so I kind of thought it was that. But anyway, I was told that that's I don't even want to say I was told. From my understanding from watching YouTubers and different things, that it pushes it in the ranking within eBay.
Yes, that is correct.
So anyway, I don't even know where I'm going with all this, Carl.
I don't know either. You're talking about this cool clock you got though.
It is cool, eh?
It is pretty cool.
And I'm like, should I put this in the booth? Let's just do a quick. Let's do a quick Google Lens. See what's going on here.
With Google Lens, I'll often add eBay to the text.
Yeah,
to get rid of those Etsy results because Etsy people are crazy on there what they're asking.
it's sold for $4,000 on Etsy. But,
yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
anyways, yes.
So I think I got that for like a couple bucks, dude. Honestly, like, you know what I mean. So it is what it is.
And like we said, you don't have to do promoted, so it's just that a lot of people
I won't do promoted on that sucker.
No,
I'm not.
that's
what am I going to do?
I'm
going to push it above itself.
Like, yeah, I know, but I can tell you, I had that argument when it first came out. Oh, I promote everything. I just use X amount. It's like, so you're promoting stuff where there's like one other listing and it's your own one. Like,
that is not true. That is not true.
I heard that from lots of people.
Now, I might have said.
Well, I'm not saying you said that.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you said I said that. We had the discussion
no.
because I honestly thought it pushed it out to the other people, or to the other platforms like Google searches and stuff. And I've heard it from other people, but since then, but I think you were the one that corrected me initially on that.
Yeah, hopefully I'm right because I haven't looked at since years because I never used promoted. I had it promoted on one item just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
it didn't seem to make any difference, so I just took it off again.
But
I don't trust eBay.
When I do my toy soldiers, I put so I'm kind of stuck between them. Initially, this is pre de minimis stuff. I was more of, okay, there's competition out there, so I want mine to sit first because it's the cheaper price. So I would put 10% initially on those toy soldiers. And then I realized, well, you know what? There's a lot of people coming back to buy them. So then I dropped it to 0 and my sales dropped a significant amount. It was a noticeable amount, right? So pretty much I'm only selling it to people who were repeat buyers. So then I put it to 5%, kind of in between.
Right.
And that boosted me to get a few more sales. And then, and I think I mentioned this to you last week, and then I'm getting hit with promoted listings on sales from repeat buyers.
God damn it.
So now it's like, what the hell do I do? You know what I mean? Like if this guy's a repeat buyer and he can buy like 8 items and like 5 of them will be promoted listings. I'm like, how does that even work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't even make sense.
eBay gave you a taste, and
Wow.
now they can't just pull out.
No, but how does that make sense? If I'm a repeat buyer coming in to buy from a store that I bought before and I was happy, and so I'm going to buy these items, and then eBay promoted, I get half of those are promoted listing
Yeah,
sales.
I don't know.
Dude, it doesn't even make sense. I'm like, now I'm just
Well,
now
for
I'm
me, the change is even worse. It's
well. At
like
least that makes
someone saw
sense.
your well, the new change doesn't even make sense. It's like so someone came in and wasn't even promoted, and I still have to pay a promotion fee. Like, what did you do? You did nothing. Thanks, and here's some extra money. Like, screw that. But
Yeah, but at least there's a rhyme and a reason. The other one is no rhyme or reason.
what
Like
was the rhyme and reason of charging you for promoted fees
it's
if the
just
person could
greed
come
and
in?
it's consistent.
Sorry,
But dude, if you bought something from me before, you're not going to a promoted listings to come back and buy from me
that
again.
that is also BS. They're both BS.
Well, I'm not saying they're both not BS. All I'm saying
Okay.
is one is just it's greed. It's a money grab, and I know it. The other one is like theft.
I don't mind paying a fee for a service I receive.
One is there's a guy at a toll gate before you cross the bridge. I want $5 instead of 3. My guy is here's a knife. I'm gonna stab you if you don't give me more money. I don't know. I'm
I
being.
don't know how that works, but I'm just gonna
I don't
go
know.
with
I'm out of control.
it. Thankfully, it's still our choice of what we do, right? Like
I better edit that because
what
I
what
love
I'm waiting
eBay.
for.
I'm just being sarcastic.
What I'm waiting for is like, oh, you have anything promoted at all in your store? Well, it's all promoted now.
Wow.
That's what I don't trust them because it's like the
I
new
think
change is
I
coming
think
now.
that's true. I think it's all going to be eventually promoted.
Like
I'd
then
rather
it's
them
just
just
a
come out
fee.
and say, listen, we want like 17%. You know,
Well, they did increase the fees last year for everyone. So they're already doing that. And it's a percentage. So it's not like it's inflation based.
what's the? It's not 13% anymore.
I don't know what it is right now, but they did increase the percentage they take last year.
I don't know.
This least of my concerns, to be honest. Because like you said, compared to like all other expenses, it's not that don't tell eBay.
Yeah, don't I'll leave it. But
Yeah.
it is kind of if you compare it to like brick and mortar or other ways to sell things other than out of your garage, where you're not
Yes.
going to have the eyeball, so you're not going to get the prices. But I'm just saying that, uh, I mean, it's a platform, and they recognize the importance of it. You know, and you know what? If people are making good money out of it, and I'm not talking about someone trying to sell a record they bought 10 years ago and all of a sudden it's worth 300 now. And I use that example because my son has done that. But if you're actually making, you know, a good living off this, whatever that is, I don't know. They want a piece of it, I guess. You know what I mean? So
And I have no problem paying, like I said, paying fees for a service. And eBay is generally good. Despite
generally,
all my,
for sure.
despite all the bitching, it is generally good. That
Listen,
doesn't mean they don't do good changes or there isn't
yeah, like
issues.
the
But
international shipping is probably going to keep some people in the game
yeah,
because without it, you know, like in this country,
yeah.
um, the what they've done with shipping cost is like makes up way more than an extra 10% or 5%.
I paid $5 and something for shipping a small packet yesterday,
Yeah.
right? It was
So
that used to be $15,
yeah.
you know.
So
So
so they've more than made up the difference on a
mhm.
promoted listing. just in the shipping alone, right? Um, so there's a lot of really good stuff they're doing to better the seller. You know,
Yeah.
we're making fun of it, and it is frustrating because it is comes off the bottom line. But at the same place, where are you going to get? Where are you going to go out and buy a toy for $2 and sell it for 400?
Yeah. My local booth will laugh at you
Yeah,
and ask
exactly.
for $10.
You know how many times I was laughed at over that folk art piece that I sold for 350?
I know, right?
Yeah, it was almost embarrassing sometimes. I come in there, they look at the price. Oh my god,
I hear that shit too. I just
they're out of
ignore it.
control, right? With the and they're like, and they laugh, and you know who's laughing now? you
That's yeah. That's
know, like and I want to scream at them sometimes. And dude, I'm trying to be funny at the same time when I say this, but it does hit you in the nerve. Like, listen, we're not a thrift store. We sell to collectors. This is a finder fee. This is the value of the item. If you don't like it, go to Walmart. Buy a Go try to buy a toy there. And as soon as you walk out of the door with a $40 toy, it's depreciated to $10
yeah.
at a yard sale. You know what I mean? You come here and you buy stuff, it pretty much holds its value for, you know, maybe depending on what it really is, but like furniture, for instance. Like I hate to say this. Steph doesn't watch the show, so I'll say it, but she knows where I'm coming from, and it's not a dig. But she bought this table, and it was kind of nice, but it was way overpriced. And she bought it brand new. And then she saw an old piece of furniture, probably, I don't know. It's hard to sometimes tell, but I have to say it's probably from the 1800s, like Victorian era. And it's gorgeous table. And she's trying to sell the newer one on Facebook because she bought this other one. She paid less for the Victorian one,
Yeah. It's been true for a long time now. Yeah.
but she paid less for it
Mm-hmm.
than what she did for the new one.
Mm-hmm.
She'll get half the price at best for the
She's
new
lucky.
table trying to resell it.
Yeah.
And she'll be able to sell this Victorian one for more than what she paid because she bought it through another vendor where vendors we kind of do each other favors, right? I've talked about this before, but if
Yeah.
someone's interested and they're a vendor or a worker, like you usually get a 20% discount or whatever at minimum, right? So she paid less than asking price. She got a discount. And I think it was inexpensive already. So Steph, they put a sold sign on it because I don't know, her vehicle is full or something. So she wasn't going to be back in until Monday. So it went the whole weekend with a sold ticket on it. And they said, you wouldn't believe how many people wanted that table and they were coming back to ask me about that table.
Mm.
Right. But I have a bit of a primitive look to it. I won't get into too much, but my point is that it might be expensive at an antique store, but it's not depreciating for the most part. Like
It's going to retain some of its value.
it'll retain its value compared to going out and buying something new. Right? So people can sit there and complain about the prices or not, but the quality is unbelievable too.
People will complain about prices. Like I hear that too. And it's like, oh, I'm only going to pay $10 for that. Well, that's nice, but you're not my customer, right? Like you're not going to
Yeah.
get it for $10.
Yeah.
So bugger off. But like, I don't see, I try not to say that bad. No, but yeah, there are people like that, or they get upset when you don't give it away. I had someone trying to knock me down like for a couple of things. I was asking 25 and they didn't want to pay more than 10. It's like, I said, I'm not selling this for 10, these items for 10. It's like, I'll wait.
Yeah. And there's some people that come in there and vendors who put such a low price on it. Other vendors complain because it brings down, like, they get sales before, but it brings the value down of things within the booth. So you don't want to go too low either because you're basically
Yeah, that can be hard. Like, because like the guy across from me, Chris and I, we sell a lot of the same stuff.
right.
So sometimes I'll bring, like I brought in vintage D&D books. And I know he sells that sort of stuff. And I said, what do you think of my prices? And he said, oh yeah, it's in range. So I do a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not going to put in something worth 50 and try to get 100 just because someone else is asking 100, because I see that as well sometimes in the market.
100%. I put up my own prices. I don't care. I know what I have into it,
Yeah.
and I know what I want out of it. Um, but
Some
I'm
people
just
have crazy
saying, I've
ideas.
heard people complain before because some people go just way undercut the market price, right? But my point is, I don't care. I'll just buy it from them. If it's
Yeah,
that low, I'll
that's a
go
good
in and
point.
buy it.
Yeah.
Like I bought another lawn bowling ball. Remember I sold that one. I held it for a couple years listed, and then it sold for what 250 or something like that.
Mm.
The lawn bowling one. You remember that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, so I bought another one, and it's even better. It's still 1800s old. It has sterling ring and a sterling badge. It was a trophy from it
Mm.
was 1890 or something. But it had the guy's name on it, and I googled the name, and it popped right up. He's a well-known lawn bowler uh, from Scotland back in the 1800s. He actually owned and started a league back then. So is this a $300 or $500 one? It's got sterling inlay.
Yeah.
It's 1800s. It's not quite as old as the other one. The other one was like 1850s or something, but it's within 30, 40 years, and it's sterling, and it's got a name that's known. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other one had a name on it, but it also had a bowling uh the name of the club, the long bowling club was in it. So I could take it back. It was Welsh, and it was like, I don't know, it was really old. It was like 1840s or 60s or something crazy. But anyway, I got 200, 250. I paid $30 for this one. Um so I'm thinking 250, 300 for it. I might
Okay.
even start at like 500 and just see what happens. But just because it's got sterling in it, and sterling's like out of control right now.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, like it I can see people being irritated like when someone undercuts like that for other stuff.
she didn't know she was undercutting. She didn't even have a clue what it would be worth. She probably just saw lawn bowling ball, $30, and put $30 on it. But
Yeah.
this one's special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got the it's got the inlay, it's got the date, it's got the location, it's got all sorts of stuff, and it's got sterling. So
Hmm. There you go.
there it is. So buy it. If it's that cheap, buy it.
Well, that's what Adam used to do, right?
Well, we all did. He was out of control. Cameraman, typewriter. So because that guy would get insane prices in return. Like he would buy a featherweight for like $300 and sell it for 900.
Yeah, sewing machine. Yeah.
Right? I don't know if I'd go over $100 on those things.
Well, he got the money.
But well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He was out of control. He was a beast. He just went to town. But there's a difference paying 300 and paying $30. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like my point is, like, I'm the $30 man. Like I'm not Mr. Big Bucks. I'm not gonna risk. I don't know. I guess I have to a degree in certain places, but not like if it's an old petrol sign from like the 40s and they want $180. I've done that and sold it for 500, but because those things,
You know it's going to go.
like, I'm comfortable with those things compared to like something mechanical that's working. Like typewriters too. He was really good at typewriters. He knew his typewriters too, but
Yeah.
that's not my forte.
I can see one from here and it's been there for at least 3 years.
Yeah, but he still sold them. He would pay higher prices for them.
Like I don't
Cameras
mind that
too.
for some things, right? It depends. Like it is, there's a balance between how much time and effort you had to put in. Like typewriters are hard because you want to make sure all the keys work. You want to make sure all the bits and pieces are there. You have to figure out the font type. You have to make sure the model type,
But that's where knowledge is money, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're knowledgeable in that, that's what Adam was. He was knowledgeable in that stuff,
Yeah.
way beyond my knowledge,
Yeah.
right? So, um, so anyway, I don't know where were we headed with all this stuff.
Well,
He had a different he had an ability in those areas that was beyond just knowledge of what the value is. He also had a knowledge of whether they were in good condition, like almost like a mechanic. You know what I mean?
yes, that's what I
Right?
was saying.
I
Like,
could look at a truck and I could say, "Oh yeah, that's within reason." But if you open up the hood, there could be something wrong with it. I wouldn't be able to tell.
I hate that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, where a mechanic would be able to tell you.
Yeah.
So Adam was both mechanic and value. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but with a porcelain sign, there's no mechanic required. It was
That's
just
why I
like,
like. That's why often why I like toys.
yeah.
Like,
Well, toys are a little bit tricky too, to a degree. I mean, Google Lens can be your friend there, but there could be an accessory.
it can be in there. Can be
There could
accessories
be
missing for
something
sure.
snapped off that you don't know.
There's that too.
So
Yeah.
you have to be, you still have to have some knowledge, and just because it is broken doesn't mean it's not parts and repair worth 50 or $100 just for the parts.
I bought a baggy wall just for a Polly Pocket little tiny bear in it, worth $15. I didn't
Yeah.
care about anything else in the bag. I just wanted that little tiny bear. So
And it's on your shelf behind you right now.
it's probably lost already. I probably dropped it somewhere. It's less smaller than a thumbnail.
How long
So
did you look at that baggie wall? Like how long did you have to examine it and figure out that that bear was worth 15, or did you just know and you saw it and it's like that's mine?
I saw a vintage like case in there,
Yeah.
but often they don't have any of the pieces when you get the vintage cases,
Okay.
and all the value is not in the case but in the little pieces.
And the pieces.
And I found the little bear, and I knew the bear was worth looking up
Right.
because that's the sort of thing that gets lost, and that's why I bought it.
Okay.
But if that bear wasn't there, even with a vintage case, I probably would have left it. But I didn't. I'm not saying I'm going to make a fortune off that one. It's just
No,
sometimes it's
but
like
that's kind of what I was saying. Like knowledge is there. It's not like you knew that that product had some value if the pieces were there and you looked
yeah,
for that piece and it was there and then boom, now you know.
yeah,
You're right. Like most people that didn't have that knowledge would think it was just probably like a little makeup case for a kid or something. Like a little like though I don't know what case it was, but some of those cases are just they don't even they definitely don't scream value. That's for sure.
no,
Right? To a normal person.
yeah, or they overvalue the case. Sometimes they'll buy it because look, there's a Polly Pocket case, and they'll look it up and they'll see eBay shows like a $90 sale,
Yeah.
but $80 of that $90 sale is not the case. It has all the dolls and stuff,
Yeah. And you're talking those little plastic cases, like
Yeah,
yeah. I have a Pocahontas with the figures in it. Like that's worth $60 or something like that.
yeah.
You know what one I'm talking about?
No, I'd never seen that one, but I kind of get the idea, right?
So it's just a small little round thing that's like 3 by 3 inches and maybe an inch thick. But when you open it up, it's a little play set, and you have figures that go with it. And
Yeah,
I think it's based on the Disney,
yeah.
the Disney one. But yeah, anyway, I'm kind of rambling on, but I'm just saying they definitely don't scream money. They don't scream value just to look at it. And that's another thing where knowledge is good, Carl, like your knowledge in that, because you could go to a yard sale where thousands of people would have passed the toys, but you're like, cha-ching.
Or like it's worth taking the gamble because there might be something good in there, right?
Yeah, but you just open it up and then you know if it's in there or not.
Well, sometimes you can't do that all the time. Like if you're in a hurry, right?
Dude,
Or
it's a little pop. You just pop it open. If they're not in there and the box is filled with toys, that's a whole different thing. Because
that's
now
the
you're
sort of thing I'm
digging.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like if I get a bag like on the value. Like I'm talking, I know you don't do thrift stores that often, but that's usually where I'm sourcing a lot from there.
Yeah,
So I know there's a vintage thing in there, but I don't know the other stuff. Sometimes I'll get the bag anyways because it was like a vintage thing that was donated might mean a whole bunch of other vintage things were donated at the
100%.
same time, right?
Yeah.
Now it doesn't always pay off, but sometimes it really does, and that's when you learn new categories sometimes with toys, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like I had no idea this was anything.
But
So
try to sell that bear for $15 out of your booth.
yeah, and it will never happen.
Never happen. First of all, nobody will see it. And second
Yeah,
of all,
it's
the
teeny.
ones that do see it won't have a clue
The
what it is.
only time I would try to sell something like that is if I have a huge collection of them,
Right.
and
Okay.
then I'll get a collector come in and they'll know the value because I have a whole bunch. But having one little tiny bear by itself somewhere in the booth, like no, it's
And is that more of a US thing?
no.
No? Canadians are into that too?
Yeah.
Because I find all that kind of stuff actually went to the US. Um
Well, me
the
too,
thing
but
that,
that's because they're 9 times our population. So
yeah, but there should technically be 9 times that out there for vendors, like for resellers too, right? eBay. Like I'm sure eBay buyers per capita are more than like more probably more equivalent than we give it credit to. Plus, a lot of US buy from other countries, so there's a lot of competition out there. I don't want to get into that rabbit hole, but I'm just saying
neither
I
do
am
I.
so amazed at how much they buy. It's incredible, and I didn't realize this until I started hearing people commenting on how they're affected by this de minimis change and where they're located throughout the world. Like I honestly thought that our border, like we border the US, so that's why Canada gets so many sales. But it's like people in Europe and Australia, they're saying 80% of their buyers were US.
Hmm.
You didn't hear that?
Uh,
Or know
yeah,
that?
well, I believe for us, like I'm surprised that Europe would, but
A
I
hundred
think
percent. I was
yeah,
totally flabbergasted when Europe was 80% of their sales.
yeah.
Australia, 80% of their sales.
Hmm.
Like who's buying all this stuff in the US? Like I honestly I thought it was our border which made us more like that our sales were because of where we were located to them. But it was across the board, like every just watch YouTubers from other countries. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I have seen some people saying that too. Like I think, but I haven't really been paying too much
And
attention
and
to it
and that doesn't
now.
even include China and the Chinese made stuff back like before August 29th. Like there was a lot of stuff being purchased. Like I don't know. It just boggles my mind at how much stuff is purchased. Like it's even if you just go into a small town and you look at like population 6,000, restaurants 200. You know what I mean? Like who's eating at all these restaurants, man?
That's funny. I was talking about that the other day. It's like they're empty around us now, a little
Are
bit
they?
more. They're not as busy as they once were.
Yeah.
That's another. Let's not even go down.
No, but I'm just saying like we are a culture of consumption.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are to me they go hand in hand, but it's also wasteful. Like if you go to landfills, like it's insane. Like so everything that's purchased eventually ends up landfills. So I'm just saying like it's insane. This is why as resellers we should be able to get some sort of pass in that we're reselling used stuff. Like that should be an environmental
Nice try.
perk. You know what I'm saying though?
I guess.
Well, I mean, let's look at this.
Like my
If
little
you're
toy.
reselling furniture,
If I package that little toy and then I ship it to the United States, I don't want to think of the the garbage impact, environmental impact of shipping a little toy to
well,
California.
you gotta
It's
be
probably
bigger
pretty bad.
minded, dude. Because, but if you're okay, let's even stay with your little toy. I'm gonna give you an example in a second, but let's just stay with your little toy for a second. If you have 10 million of them, You know what I'm saying? Now it's an environmental issue because not only not only is there 10 million out there that goes to landfill, it's plastic. So how was it made? Well, it was made in a factory that manufactures plastic things. And second of all, it's what like there's no positive impact other than somebody like, ooh la, this is great, you know. But if you resell that thing, they don't have to make more of them because you've sold it. But I'm talking more of like furnitures and bigger thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're selling a piece of furniture like Steph bought and it's from the 1800s, how many trees, how many, you know, I mean, just to keep passing that on and increasing in value, and it's better made than most furnitures nowadays. Like I'm just saying, like that there should be some credit there for
Well,
that type of seller. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And you should say, damn right there should be, right? Because you're one of us too, right, Carl? So like and anyone in this group should say, yeah, let's put a petition together.
We're not biased at all.
No, but I really am flabbergasted at like I'm just looking around in my room now and I'm just seeing how much stuff will sell and it's been sold how many times. I mean, it's just how many rooms like this across North America are there? Like hundreds of thousands, I'm sure.
We have a
Like
lot of
just look
crap.
at just go on there and look at
Well,
storage units.
that's
Go
what
look
you
at
just stole what I
storage.
was going to say. Yeah, storage units are they're building a new one every 5 minutes. Well, they were
Yeah,
for
but
a
just
while there. Yeah,
look at the auctions for storage units online.
I've given
Like
up on that, but yeah, yeah,
no, no, I'm not
not
even
given up. I
saying
forgot.
I'm not even saying as a source. Just go
Yeah.
look at how much shit
Oh,
is
there's a lot of
in
shit.
those units,
Yeah.
and they're storing this shit all over the world, man. Like all over North America, anyway, all over Canada. Just say Canada.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. Like if we were to take all that and put it into a landfill, like just overnight, like it couldn't be done, dude. Like those are like landfills on their own. Like it's insane. It's
There,
insane.
there's a lot of stuff. Yes.
There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Like I don't want to know how much Value Village throws out every week.
Oh my god. That is I didn't even think of that. That's
Like
a great example.
if you go at the back, like this is what always got me when people are saying like resellers are stealing from the thrift stores. Like everyone who said that has obviously not been to the back of a thrift store ever, where they're basically garbage heaps full of glass, clothing, electronics, furniture. It's just getting destroyed. There's a lot of stuff.
Dude,
There's
just
no
listen.
shortage.
Don't just stand just stand near the back where they're sorting this stuff out.
Smash, crash.
Smash. Yeah, it's just constant.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's crazy how much like I've never been like that. I'm not really a consumer of product. Other than
Neither am
beer,
I.
when I was in my younger days, in my
Well, that's
early
different.
20s, other than beer, I didn't really consume anything. Pizza and beer, that was about it.
I like buying a book once in a while and a magazine.
What's that? Oh yeah.
I don't buy
Um,
hardly anything.
I didn't really buy anything. Anything that I like it
You know
didn't
what?
it didn't appeal to me. Like there was no I didn't have a desire, you know what I mean, for that
I
kind of
get the
stuff.
thrill of buying anyways right now. Like when I buy those heavy metal magazines, I get the thrill of buying, but I don't need to keep. You
Oh,
know,
I don't keep. Okay. Right. The thrill the thrill isn't even the buy. The thrill is the hunt for something like gold. It's like treasure hunting.
when I buy something I actually enjoy, it gives me a lot of pleasure. Like the heavy metal magazines, like I get more than just the joy of this is worth X and I bought it for X minus Y, right? Like it's more than just the money thing. It's
Yeah.
because I actually like what I'm buying. But when I buy, I don't know, something I don't care about. What would I not care
Um
about? There's a lot of
I
things.
think it definitely adds another niche on the level.
of
But I
enjoyment.
just as much like to buy stuff on a $5 tray that I know nothing about and finding something in there that's worth $100.
In that point, you're getting the joy of the hunt, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But when you're
Exactly.
buying, like, say you buy a piece of primitive art for resale that you like, right?
Right.
You get more of a hit.
Like I said, it puts definitely another level,
Yeah.
another notch on the level,
Yes.
but
So,
it's not the only thing I enjoy. So if I find something that I really like if I was to go out and find a Maud Lewis painting, that's a 10 out of 10.
yes, we get
But
everything there. But
but if I go out and if I buy a $5 tray and I've learned something and I find a watch that I didn't know about, or okay, let's put it this way, the fob that was sterling and it turned out to be worth a couple $100, and I paid $2 or something at an auction for it online, and it had this 1800s. It was all fully stamped with the lions, and it was complete sterling. And I get maybe $400 for it. I can't remember. It might have been honestly $400 sticks in my head, but that's an eight,
that's the joy of the hunt,
right?
right?
I have no knowledge on pocket watch fobs or the
Yeah.
sterling and all this kind of stuff, but that's an eight. But if I find something that I know, like a Maud Lewis, I've been looking for since I started, like a Maud Lewis painting, that's definitely a 10. It's a couple levels above,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoy both of them.
Yeah. And like if I buy a tape, like I came across VHS tapes for camcorders. I
Yeah.
left them behind because I know there's value there, but I didn't get enough of the other hit to bother. So
Well, that was probably a 10 for me when I bought that one that ended up selling for $400 because I enjoy horror movies. I enjoy the art and the old look of those old VHS tapes,
yeah,
but I didn't know it was in that lot.
no. And I
You
was
know what I
talking
mean?
about blank media, right? A
What's that?
very I was talking about blank media when I meant tape.
Oh, okay. You're
So
talking
like
about
I know it's worth 20. I could buy it for 6. I didn't bother because I didn't get enough juice of interest for me to do
right,
it. But
right.
that's not always true. Sometimes I'll pick it up anyways. But anywho, should we we're almost 2 hours in. Should we get to the comments?
Sure.
So on Spotify, so I'm going to start off with TJ. Thank you for clarifying that. So Carl, when you say cosmetic jewelry, do you mean costume jewelry? Yes, I do. Sorry about that. She's getting curious about it too. I know things by Sherman are a big deal, and brooches are usually signed on the back. Yeah, I'm trying to learn. Like when I'm trying to get, like I was looking at the jewelry jars. You know, they have the mixed jewelry jars at the Value Village, but I kind of want to see something good in there before I buy them. But my folks have an antique store in BC, and I'm just getting into reselling online on my own. So I'm really appreciating listening to how you two are navigating the strike and the tariffs on eBay. Yeah, that's
You know,
constant
that's
changes.
that's interesting, TJ, with the antique store in BC. Um, Let us know if you have a YouTube channel or anything like that or a website. Um, in BC, I mean, that's a huge province, don't get me wrong. But if you're like in the Vancouver area, I'm sure property values are like through the roof. My buddy
Yeah.
lives in BC. He's up near Kamloops. So if you're up in that area, it's probably a little bit more reasonable compared to the south, but the southern part of BC, the like Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
But I think property values are what I'm saying is location can determine how much it costs to operate a brick and mortar.
I'm surprised anyone can do it, to be honest.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like where our market is, it's in a smaller town, so it makes sense, but we still close enough to have a big draw from the big cities.
Yeah.
And they actually often come down because the prices are cheaper too, right? But um I'm kind of digressing here, but for instance, the people that bought the furniture, that was a person from the city, and she buys furniture listen to this one, Carl. She buys furniture for restaurants, chains, different people that want furniture.
Oh, that's cool.
She bought over $2,000 worth of furniture. It was all stored in the back room, and she was having people come and pick it up. So not only the cost of buying the furniture, she had to get a moving company come and pick the stuff up and then take it somewhere and drop it off, which I'm assuming is in the city, which is an hour and a half hours away. Maybe two by the time you fight traffic, you can actually get door to door. So how much is that expense?
4 hours in travel time. You need at least two people,
Yes.
and the gas and
And the
everything.
gas and the truck, the wear and tear. And there's a markup. There's also has to be worth her time coming out and doing this. Like, this is her business. So, like, the markup on that too. You know what I mean? Like, how much are this is my point. Like, it's crazy to think, you know, but it's out there. Anyway, I'm kind of digressing, but I'm just letting you know, like that's awesome, you know. But
Anyway, yeah, thank you, TJ, for listening. Yeah, when it comes to what's going on, it's constantly changing. It's going to even change last week after we talked. So,
and BC would be interesting too. I'm sure there's a lot of like native, uh, like West Coast artifacts and stuff
yeah,
out there too. Like, there's probably a lot of history there, a lot of that interesting stuff. Like, I don't know. I would love to visit an antique store out in BC. You know,
yeah, and her parents have an antique store too,
that's
so
what I'm
there's all
saying.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. Let us know if there's any information online if you want. Like, I'm just saying, but uh, you know, I would research that and see what's going on, like see what it's like out there and stuff. I think like Canada is so huge, so it's umbrellaed under Canada, but I I'm almost wondering, is there a big difference? Right? Like, this is why I used to like watching that guy from Edmonton, Curiosity Inc. guy. Is
Yeah,
there's a lot of Canadian, a lot of railroad stuff, but there's also he was big into toys, and some of the toy stuff he found was crazy out there, right? So um, I don't know. I kind of digressing in there, but I find that interesting. So interesting. And is it a store that they run on their own, or is it one where they rent out space to other people? Like, that's what I am in, is into a place where I I'm a vendor with two large booths, one much larger than the other. It's basically two in one, but um, and so do they rent that space out, or do they just kind of have a store where all the stuff is theirs? So that's cool. Cool, cool. Is it my turn?
yeah,
Tina Mac. I'm in international shipping program. Right after I changed origins, I got an email, unfortunately, after a week crickets. Took your tip, Carl, and took the bulk edit from Origin, and it showed hundreds not changed. I am okay. Okay, I'm hoping after a change it'll get some sales. I found instant sales personally, but I had all that stuff changed. That's why I had so much less in my eBay store, is because I had everything that was in there had changed over, putting
hmm
locate like manufacturing origin and material. No idea
ironically
what.
for me, I had to take Origin off the stuff I wanted. Some of the stuff I
Yeah,
wanted
so
to,
yeah, that's interesting, right? Now,
but it is very handy. Like when you just do edit all, you can just quickly see which ones need done. I wish
yeah,
I knew that right from the beginning, but
yeah.
whatever.
Um,
Sometimes eBay is also doing coding changes in the back, so things can change a little bit from week to week.
yeah, well, I haven't seen $1 million deposited in my account.
Yeah, not
That
that
would
much.
be a good change. A good little coding in the back. Um, no idea why they didn't. No idea why they didn't save. So glad I checked. Yeah. So that's back to your coding. Is that your coding thing? Why they wouldn't have saved?
Yeah, she said she changed them and they didn't save, so who knows? Sometimes eBay is buggy, but At least you can see which ones. Like you don't like the problem is going through if you're going through them manually that
Yeah.
people were doing. It's such a pain in the butt because you don't even know what has been done already. But right now, I haven't had any EIS sales either. So
I just blocked my last one.
you block them. What I do is often using incognito mode just to check my listings to make sure they're all good. Because that's the good way to check to see if it's working to the United States or anywhere else.
Thanks again for the great episode. Glad you guys are still here. Well,
yes, me too. So the
well,
last
for
one
now,
yeah,
who knows? Once the zombies start attacking, then
this will turn into the
it'll be a little
storytelling,
harder.
the writers podcast. Yeah,
It's not a knock at the door. There's a scratch and a bang and a clash. Anyway,
so
that is it, Carl. That is now. Your turn.
Yeah, so Tim Gallant, I now in EIS. Not one sale yet. Lower prices, made new listings, sent offers. Might have to find a new hobby. Yeah, I get it. I've been selling a couple things, but nothing like crazy. Remotes. I've been selling remotes. I don't know why. And all to Canadians. So, but I am listing again for some reason. So that's good. Thank you, Tim, Tina, and TJ.
Well, here's what we kind of discussed earlier. We're not sure if we missed it last, because there is a part at the end that I like. I would have remembered that, but I don't know. This is from Adam.
Yep.
Let me know what you guys think after Googling the true story. And also, did you guys happen to watch the baseball playoffs and see the guy with the plug shirt? I didn't see that guy. I've been watching the playoffs, but I just don't know how we missed that comment. If we did, I don't know. If we didn't miss it, and I still didn't see it, but I'm just like, I just want to make sure we didn't forget you, Adam. If we accidentally missed it last week, but I did not see that shirt. What about you? Did you watch it at all?
No.
Carl? You did? Did you watch the? Are you watching the following the Jays?
No.
Really, dude? What an amazing game the other night. They ended up losing it, but went 18 innings. I was up till 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, screw that. Screw that.
Oh, no. It's so exciting.
Can't imagine anything more boring.
What's that?
That stuff is boring to me.
Yeah.
Oh, he threw it. Oh, he missed. And they stand around for 5 minutes. Oh, he threw another one.
Well.
Oh, he missed.
Tell me what would be exciting to you, Carl?
Oh, I don't like sports, so.
Okay, what's exciting?
What's exciting?
Yeah, like what do you?
I like watching history shows with the Romans.
Oh,
or British history. I've been watching a lot of
he threw a
North
spear.
History.
It hit somebody in the chest. Oh, that's so exciting.
Well, the Norse ones are pretty exciting.
He wielded his sword.
He cut someone in half, man.
Slashed his throat.
Yeah. You know what's funny is when you had Jamie on, you both had Blue Jay hats on.
Yeah.
And I said to Amy, my wife, just a couple of days ago, I was like, I finally figured out why they both had Blue Jay hats on, and I had no idea. I thought it was just a coincidence.
We should have him on soon. I think he's got tickets to all 4 games at the the Sky Dome. Which is insane to me because I would be selling those suckers. I'm not that into it.
You like Blue Jays, but not that much.
Like if you got a Game 7 ticket, I'm sure no matter where it is in the house, you probably get $10,000 for it.
Really?
Oh, some of them are selling for $2,000 to $4,000. Like I think that's just. I don't think that's scalper price. I think that's for a seat.
To watch a boring game, I can't believe it.
Well, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, I can't even. I would love to hear how much like some tickets were going for, probably scalped wise, for like a Game 7 if they go to like a Game 7. Like it's. I can't even imagine how much it would. Like if it got to 20 grand, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh wow.
But you got to remember, if you have 10, $20 million in the account, 20 grand is like 50 cents. Like it's a cup of coffee to us. You know what I mean?
It is Toronto.
Right. So like I'm watching the Dodgers game and they're going around and I can't even like it's in LA, right? So like like Prince Harry was there, or
There are some people who this
Pat
means nothing.
Sajak was there. Rob Lowe was standing up clapping. Brad Pitt was sitting next to the drummer of Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's like, what's 20 grand to those guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an oil change on their Lamborghini, right? But no, I don't know. If they want to go and you got the golden ticket, like, you're Willy Wonka,
I get it. Everyone likes spending money how they want. Like, more power to them.
Okay. I don't think we had any comments on our YouTube.
Nope.
Huh. Well, we got views.
So that's good. We got a couple. One from my mom, one from your mom.
But yeah, no, the Blue Jays, it's exciting, dude. It's fun. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know where you don't find the excitement.
I already explained. They throw the ball, they miss. 10 minutes later, they throw another one. They miss. It's like, oh my God, kill me. And the worst thing is you have to wait. How many innings were there in that long one?
18.
18. So they had like, what does that mean? Like at least 8 innings of nothing happening. Right?
No, there was so much happening. It was a defensive. It went to defensive and it went into the bullpen of pitching. Like the pitching was crazy. There were so many
What?
Well, I would say the Dodgers pitcher. Like, listen, I wanted the Blue Jays to win, but when I saw Klein come out and pitch the way he did, and he was so
Alvin?
happy and just like I almost like, you know what? I'm glad that guy won the game for it. Like he finished the game the way he did. I felt I felt good for him. Like it was like it was good, and he did a great job. To shut down the Blue Jays second line, really, but for the most part. See,
we'll have to have
now
Jamie
you're
on.
excited, Carl. You want to watch the next game?
We'll have to have Jamie on. And then you guys can talk about it, and then I can just like list while you're doing it.
Adam knows. He'll know what I'm talking about. But well, my curiosity is besides the Romans, like what is it that you like, Carl? Like I don't know what you're like about the Romans. Like explain that more if you want. But
I just like I like history. I like the stories. I like the epic tales.
History, like the 1993 Blue Jays. That history.
Didn't they win twice in a row?
Yeah.
See, I know that.
Yeah, there you go.
Still didn't care then.
So you watch the History Channel?
You know what?
Okay. Do you watch Three Eye Atlas? Do you know what's going on there?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Isn't that's the comet in quotation?
Oh, that. Yeah, actually, I do pay attention to that stuff.
So is that a spaceship coming around, or is it a comet?
Yeah, right. I do find space stuff interesting. So yeah, I was paying attention to that. They're explaining why what's happening is happening and how we're looking at it, and it's amazing to me that we can watch things like from satellites of Mars as it's on the other side of the sun and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And they're explaining why it's green and why the aura is going towards the sun and all that stuff, and how we can read like what's on atmospheres and things. I think it's really neat.
Well, did you? It's Abby
Yeah,
Abdullah.
he is bad rep. Yeah.
He's not. See, this is the thing, Carl. You don't listen to what they're saying. He's never said it is a UFO. He never said that it is a spaceship from another civilization. He never said that. He said based on what he's seeing and how it's acting on a scale of 1 to 10, most comets are like a 1 and a 2. He's giving it a 4, and he's giving it because of the when you have nickel and something else come off the comet, usually you only get that type of reading, and I could have the element a little bit mixed up here, but basically he says that usually only comes off of man-made structures. That's all he said. And now he's this lunatic. He was friends with Stephen Hawking. Like he's a
Oh,
well-known physicist.
oh, he is well known. Yeah.
He's brought it from a 2 to a 4.
News organizations like him because every time he has a book coming out, this big stuff seems to happen. And I
Yeah,
don't
but
even go into it because like my side is I'll listen to his stuff, but then I like listen to the other stuff too,
you
explaining
have to
why.
listen to both sides,
I
but
do
he
listen to
makes
both
it
sides.
exciting and interesting, and he talks about things that get people into it and understanding it. But he's not saying it's a 6. He's not saying it's 60%. He's just bumped it up a little bit just to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
He just
Like
happens to have a book for sale. Just a coincidence.
which who doesn't,
Yeah.
right? Who
Anyways,
doesn't? Who doesn't?
I do listen to both sides, and
Yeah,
but you know, with all this stuff, it's like I get frustrated sometimes with like, you see news articles, it's like maybe or it's heard or potentially, and it's like,
dude, it always turns out to be
oh.
that blurry picture of Bigfoot behind a tree in the dark. You
And
know
then
what I mean?
you
That's
get
what
people
it
who's like,
turns out
that's
to be.
totally this. It's
So
like, no, it's not.
if you're expecting anything more, you're going to be severely disappointed. But to to actually explain differences and things like that, like it does bring a little bit of excitement to it, right?
Oh,
And
it
it's
does bring
not it's not
excitement.
like a regular comet. It is coming from another galaxy. You know,
Uh, Another solar system,
their
yeah.
solar system. It could be a Star Trek ship. You don't know, dude.
Oh, I don't say you don't investigate this stuff.
And you're a Star Trek guy, so you're
Oh,
looking
I am.
for Spock to come out there with his
I
fingers
would love it.
split. I know,
I
I
would
know.
love it. I think it's great.
I,
I love listening to that stuff. I love saying like they talk about how. Anyways, there's another. We're already 2.5 hours and 10 minutes,
go
but
ahead. Who cares? Like
I
Randy
care.
likes it.
Anyways, if there were probes with AI, they could be here easily already. That's the stuff I find interesting too, right? It won't be
Well,
like if they're trying to sneak through and take a look, this is not the way to do it.
well, the thing is, if they were here looking, we wouldn't know, dude. If they're that
That's
far
exactly.
advanced, we would never know.
Yeah, exactly.
We're ants crawling around our mounds and dealing with our life, and those things would
Not sure
be
about
us
that.
looking at those ants. Those ants have no clue we're there until we step on them, and then it's too late. But other than that, we're just ants, and we don't understand. Like
Well,
if you put a
no.
spaceship next to an ant, they don't know it's a spaceship. It's just like not a spaceship, but a rocket. But you know what I mean. So we would never know they're here. That's why I always laugh about the lights that are blinking and saying, "Hey, look at me, look at me." That's not what we're gonna see. Like they might even be like interdimensional or like into the point where they could be here and watch us and we won't even see them or know that they're there.
Well, like the thing with the AI and drone robots and stuff like that is like even if you can't go past light speed, there's been enough time to totally populate the entire uh, galaxy. There's been enough time, so uh, it might be
Yeah.
there.
But just because they're there doesn't mean they know how to. communicate or get to us.
Well, they would know how to get to us. Like, it's not
Well,
impossible.
if they're an advanced civilization, but
Well, we could do it if we have enough time. We could do it.
we could do what? We could
have probes in each solar system in our galaxy if we wanted to. It'd take millions of years, but you could do it.
we it's yet to be seen. It's yet to be determined.
No, I can't see why not.
Well, because if the Earth is flat and we live in the infirmament, then we can't even get out of this.
You're right. The crystal sphere's in the way.
Exactly.
We'll hit our heads on top of the crystal sphere. Donk.
I don't know, but the last time I was I'll never go on a cruise line again because we almost went over the edge.
You could see it. You don't
We
hear
had a
much.
great
You don't hear much
captain
from
of
the
the
flat
ship
earthers
that
anymore,
spun
do
us
you?
around. What's that?
The flat earthers have gone all quiet. I don't know what happened to that group. They're pretty excited for a while.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I haven't. It's interesting you brought that up. I haven't heard the flatted. I bet you it's been over a year since I heard a flat Earth conspiracy comment.
Yeah,
I don't know. Why would that's interesting. They have gone quiet, haven't they? Why is that? What happened? Did something happen?
They got eliminated. They've been suppressed.
They've been jailed. They've been collected and gone. Yeah, I haven't heard a flat Earth theory in a long time. Huh. Well, now that's a conspiracy in itself. Now you got me thinking, Carl. Where'd they go? Where are those guys?
We'll have to do a podcast on it.
That was there. We should do a. That would be a more interesting podcast.
Oh, we'd have 1,000 more viewers in the next day if we
Yeah.
did like paranormal, UFO, and we were entertaining.
Well, we can be.
You're better at it than I am, but yeah, we would have 1,000 more people.
I think so. But
maybe we'll try. Maybe we should try that. Screw this reselling crap.
Yeah, and we could talk about Adam's guy there that near where he is, Big Jim Collins. Start there.
Oh yeah, and right. Hey, we could just steal everyone else's work too. We don't even have to
just give us an idea. We'll
none of it's copyrighted.
We'll throw it out there.
What's the name of our podcast gonna be?
I don't know. Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, get that? Yeah.
The Twilight Zone. I'm just copying other people's.
Do you remember those books from Times that you could like, the Times publisher, and you could get like a monthly book, and they were black. Do you remember that when they used to advertise on TV? I had that for a while, and each month they would send you a very expensive book. Like one would be on UFOs, and one would be on Bigfoot. And
dude, did you just buy someone's book? That was talking like this guy. Like this guy might have a book for sale, but I never bought his book. But it looks like you bought people's books that had these things.
When I was a kid, you get like a monthly subscription to these Times Life books.
Oh,
they're mostly worthless, but I think there's one that's okay. You'll see them sometimes at thrift stores. Anyways,
I think we should get Harry up here.
Oh, Harry would be a perfect third for. There we go. So we already got the theme, but I don't want to do too much crypto. I'm not really into cryptozoology. I find that's kind of boring.
I like crypto. I think it all blends into each other. I think it's not just crypto, but I think I love crypto. I like crypto because I like creature movies. Those are my favorite. When I say horror, I think probably my most horror favorite ones are creatures, like The Thing.
Yeah.
See,
the podcast is already ruined. We're already splitting. I don't like. Why do you always have to be the opposite of me, Scott? Like,
what?
Let's go ghosts. Let's do UFOs. Screw the cryptos.
I think it's all together.
Yeah, but like boring crypto.
Like the werewolf man. Like that's a crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You telling me there's no werewolf guy out there?
Well, people in comments, let us know which would you prefer.
Bigfoot
UFOs, ghosts, or crypto?
I think they're all hand in hand because some crypto could be interdimensional. Just like an alien, just like a UFO. Like Bigfoot, they're saying could be interdimensional. You're telling me there's no such thing as Bigfoot? You're out of your mind. Bigfoot really exists. Ask Harry. Harry knows.
Well,
But what I
funny.
was going to say is we should
Yeah.
get Harry up here and we should go camping, searching for Bigfoot. Take a week and just go look for Bigfoot.
If we did that once, Harry might actually listen to our podcast.
But I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
There we go. We're totally changing things next week.
Yeah, it's all cryptoids and UFOs.
No tariffs of that.
Well, not yet. Don't even go there, dude. It could be.
We're going to have our own internet. No one else can use it. Okay, let's kill this thing.
What? Bigfoot? You can't kill Bigfoot. I know. You're talking about the podcast. I get
Time
it.
to go.
All right. Well, hopefully that was we never know if we have enough to talk about, and then it's 2.5 hours.
Oh God.
All right. Everyone, have a good week. Hopefully sales are good and pick up, and I don't know, all the good stuff.
Exactly.
Wishing good stuff for everybody. So anyway, have a good week, everyone. Have a good week, Carl.
You too. And goodbye, everyone.